Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. This video has been a long time in the making, 2 months to be exact, and I kept putting it off and waiting a little bit longer and waiting a little bit longer, kind of just to gather more data and really decide what I thought. I still haven't really made up my mind. So this video is going to be points versus calories. Which wins out for me? Now, I will preface this by saying everybody has an opinion. Everybody has something that works better for them, whether it be points, calories, counting carbs, counting macros, whatever. You're going to find something that works for you and you're going to stick with it. Maybe sometimes you're going to change things up. That's what I did. I lost 65 pounds counting Weight Watcher points. I kept it off. I was just looking for something a little bit different. Honestly, why? I think Danielle Nicole said it best the other day in her video. She's just tired. And it is. It's exhausting. It's exhausting constantly thinking of your points, your calories, your this, your that. But I know for me, if I don't do it, I'm off the rails. I would love to say that I could just know what to do at this point and not count anything, but I know for me, that is not realistic. I know myself too well. So I have to do something. So back at the beginning of August, I decided I was going to count calories. I am going to be 100% honest with you. Ever since WW changed to personal points, I've been struggling. I don't know why. It's really not that much different, but I've been struggling. I say it's not that much different, but so many of the foods that I eat have gone up in points. So I guess it is a little bit different for me. I'm going to pause here and grab my water, which is in the kitchen because I'm really, really dry. I'll be right back. I know I could just shut off the video and then start it again, but there's always that weird little transition. And I always think people are going to wonder like, oh, what did she say that she edited out? So that's why I told you I was going to get my water. Anyway, where was I? So I was struggling with personal points. I really was. And I thought about just going back to the blue, purple, green plans and using a different app and things like that. But then I said, you know, let me just try something completely different. Let me try calorie counting. So the first thing I did, and I have not yet mentioned this, was I got a 2-week trial for Noom. My sister did Noom, my niece did Noom. They all had really great success with it. So I got the 2-week trial, knowing I was not going to stick with it because it's really pricey. I believe it was like $65 or $70 a month. But I just wanted to and Noom is basically calorie counting with like psychology. Honestly, the psychology did nothing for me. Maybe I'm just thick. I don't know. But it was a great calorie counting app and it kind of got me started with that. And they have like green foods, yellow foods, red foods to kind of tell you like, you're eating a little too many red foods today kind of thing. So I just kind of did that for 2 weeks. Basically, it was calorie counting. And then when my 2-week trial ended, I switched over to my Fitness Pal. And I did the 30-day free trial of their premium version, which was really good. I really, really liked the premium version. I liked it because it gave everything. How, like all of your macros for the day, your macro targets and things like that. And it was really good information for me. Really, really good information. But once my trial ended, I just went to the basic version, which is absolutely fine for calorie counting for me. So that's what I've been doing. I've been doing both calories and points. I'm going to give you a little bit of good, I have some notes here. I'm going to give you a little bit of good versus bad, and then I'm going to get a little bit more into what I found about myself. Oh, I was talking about the personal points. A lot of the points on things I eat have changed. If you watch my channel, you know that about 2 years ago, we switched over to a pretty much all whole foods diet. I say pretty much because we are not perfect people. I do not strive to be a perfect person. And I'm going to eat some things sometimes that are not whole foods. Yep. Tortilla chips. Pretzels. Not whole foods. They have ingredients in them that we do not like to consume. We have cut 98% of seed oils out of our diet. The more I've read, the more I've researched, the more I've talked to my nutritionist, seed oils are just not good for us. They are inflammatory. They are highly processed. Nothing natural about them. Seed oils are like your vegetable oil, your canola oil, your corn oil, your soy, sunflower, things like that. Your seed oils, they're just not good for you. So we've cut those out. Another deal breaker for us is high fructose corn syrup. We don't do that. Anything that says natural flavors or natural colors, we try to avoid completely. Now, are we perfect? Like I said, no, we're not, because can't find a pretzel on the market that doesn't have canola oil in it. But we also look for ones that have it way down on the list. Same with tortilla chips, although I believe I think Andrew found some. I think they're Siete brand. I'm not sure. I have yet to be able to get my hands on them, but he buys them, so I'm going to give those a try. I told him next time he goes grocery shopping to pick me some up, because he can always find them at his store. So we'll see. But like I said, not perfect. Where was I going with this? Oh, so with personal points, it seemed like points on things that we eat changed. We eat raw milk, cheddar cheese, whole milk. Points went up. Points went up on, what else did points go up on? My all organic, all natural chicken sausage. Points went up. Points went up, I believe, on butter. We use butter. Not using butter substitutes. I'm not using a light butter. Look at the ingredients. It's just not for me. So I feel like I was getting dinged a lot. I feel like I was getting dinged a lot on personal points for trying to eat better and trying to eat healthier and trying to eat whole foods. So that really kind of bothered me, especially when what I call like frankenfoods that are nothing but pure chemicals were staying the same or even going down in points. And I just wasn't real happy about that. So I kind of had a little chip on my shoulder. Yeah, I know. So that's why I decided to count calories. I just wanted to see what would happen. And I got to tell you, I've been enjoying it. So I'm going to give you a couple little pros and cons I have here, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty. So which is easier? That's a question I've been getting. Which is easier? And I can't believe you're tracking both. It's so hard. They're both about the same. We eat a lot of recipes versus food. Like, you can go to the store and buy a loaf of bread, and it will tell you on the loaf of bread 70 calories or whatever. Well, we don't do that. I make all of our bread products. So that's a recipe. So I have to input the recipe, whether I'm inputting it in the WW app or whether I'm inputting it into the MyFitnessPal app, because that does have a recipe builder also. I so apologize. We just started putting the heat on in the house and it's already getting dry. I need to get the humidifier. So I always have to put them in. So for me, it's kind of a wash on which is easier. I have to put the recipes in. A lot of the dinners we eat are recipes. They are, you know, like, it's not just a baked chicken breast. It's chicken with mushrooms and a sauce and a this and a that. So I have to put those in. I make all our pasta now, so it's not just looking on the back of a box. So it is a little bit more work for me to do both things. If you buy a lot of foods pre-made in the store, you're not really going to see a difference between the calories and the points by doing that. So I really, truly believe that one is a wash. No matter how you eat, I believe it's a wash. I think it's easy both ways. Now, WW, counting the points, you have, I think, a little bit more support, especially if you are a meeting goer. I went to meetings. I lost all my weight going to meetings. I do not attend meetings anymore, honestly, just because they don't really help me. A lot of the talk is, recipes and food finds and things like that. And honestly, with the way we eat, it just doesn't help me anymore. But let me tell you, I know that it helps a lot of people. It really does. It helped me in the beginning. So I am definitely not poo-pooing the meetings and the support that you get there. I didn't feel I got a lot of support even from my leader, because like when I would mention, well, I don't do this, I do this. And she always had something to say about that. She was pushing canola oil one day and I'm like, well, it's a seed oil. It's inflammatory. We try not to do that. We'll use coconut oil. And she's like, well, you shouldn't use coconut oil. It's a solid. Yes, it is a solid, but look at the health benefits kind of thing. So I don't know. I just started not feeling comfortable at the meetings and I didn't feel like I could be myself. But if you love your meetings and you have a great meeting, by all means, you're going to get that support that you need. Whereas if you are just using an app, you might not get that support. So that's a little bit of a plus for WW. Now, I know that a lot of the apps have their own communities. I know the Healthy app, which used to be iTrackBites, I know that they have ambassadors, kind of like leaders. I believe they have communities. You can find a Facebook page for anything. I believe MyFitnessPal even has some kind of community. But honestly, you guys are my community. You are. On my Facebook groups, on my YouTube comments, you guys are my community and you guys help me more than you will ever know. So for me, that's kind of a wash. Points versus calories. I think calories gives me more freedom. Like I said, I'm using MyFitnessPal. I entered in all my information and I get a base of 1,370 calories a day. That is based on my height, my weight, my activity level, and how much I want to lose per week. Because I am in loss mode, I am not in maintenance mode because I'm still trying to get rid of this 8 to 10 pounds. Where was I going with that? Oh, now that is just my base calories. I have MyFitnessPal linked to my Apple Watch. So when I do my workouts, it adds calories based on my workouts and calories burned and things like that. I've gotten to the point where I have been well over 2,000 calories in a day. Honestly, I don't think I could eat that much. I generally try to stay somewhere around my 1,370. Some days I'll eat a little bit more. Some days I eat a little bit less. It just depends on the day. Just like with WW, some days you eat all your points, some days you don't. I have learned that points and calories are not equal, but we'll get into that. I believe that the calorie counting gives me more freedom because it gives me the freedom to eat more of my whole foods. For instance, the cheese that we eat. I believe half of an ounce of cheese is 60 calories. Now, keep in mind, I get 1,370 calories a day minimum. Half of an ounce of cheese is 60 calories. Half of an ounce of cheese is 3 points. I get 20 points a day. If I want to go crazy and get a whole ounce of cheese, it's only 120 calories, but it is 6 points. It is almost 1/3 of my day. So, yes, and I know that cheese is high in saturated fat and all that. I'm not eating an entire block of cheese. I am not eating it every day. So, you have to balance. But I just feel it gives me a little more freedom. The same with milk. We drink dairy milk. I do drink the 1% milk because I just like that better. But, it's 100 calories for 8 ounces, whereas it's 4 points. I forget what else we found. We're big beef eaters. Beef is one of the most nutrient-dense foods you can eat. It is packed full of nutrients. And we do eat beef probably 2 or 3 times a week. Definitely 2. You get dinged for beef on WW, but not chicken. Chicken is not nearly as nutrient-dense as beef is. It's absolutely delicious. Don't get me wrong. We eat a lot of chicken in this house. That's 0 points. But sometimes it's actually more calories. You have to do what works for you. So I just feel that the calorie counting gives me a little bit more freedom. It gives me more freedom to eat how I want to eat. Like a tablespoon of butter, which I would never use a whole tablespoon of butter on like a piece of toast or something, but I think a tablespoon of butter is 120 calories. Does that sound right? It's like 6 points. Once again, 1/3 of my day. So it gives me more freedom that way. It also gives me a little bit more freedom to have a treat now and then. And I don't mean like a whole piece of cake or a big bowl of ice cream. Every Monday we go down to the shore. And a lot of times we would stop at Dunkin' and get something to drink. 9 out of 10 times, I get an unsweetened iced tea. But every once in a while, I just wanted an iced chai latte. A small iced chai latte, I believe, is 7 or 8 points on WW. It's 210 calories. A lot easier to fit in. Now, I'm not doing it every single day, and I'm not having an extra large. I'm having a small for a treat. If you're the type of person that can't handle spacing out your treats, calorie counting may be an issue because you may be using your calories on the wrong foods. But I also see people doing that with points. I see people eating all 0 point foods all day long just so they can eat a lot of junk in the evening or for dessert or whatever. And you can do the same thing with calories. You can eat low calorie foods all day and splurge on a big sundae. Neither one of those is right. We are supposed to eat balanced. Treats are treats. They're not for everyday consumption. They're not. It's a treat. And once you start having that treat every day, if I had an iced chai, I love an iced chai latte. Don't think I don't. But if I started having one every day, or if I started having like a large instead of a small, it doesn't become a treat anymore, and it's not special. It just becomes part of the day, and I'm wasting all those points or calories, I don't want to say waste, but on something that's not special anymore. So that's why once a week on Monday, I would get a small. I can easily fit it in. Could I fit it into my points? Probably I could, but it would be 7 points. And I wouldn't have a whole lot of points left for the rest of the day, especially for something that has 0 nutrients in it, that is absolutely empty calories. And I know that. But it's a treat, and that's what treats have. So if you're the type of person that could just go crazy and splurge and spend all your calories on junk, just like if you're the type of person that could eat all 0 point foods all day and spend all of your points on junk, we know we can't do that. We can't. So keeping that in mind, I like the little bit of freedom that calorie counting gives me when it comes to having, like I said, just that little special every once in a while, or maybe just having a larger serving of something, or having the real butter and not feeling guilty, or having the peanut butter, like a whole tablespoon of peanut butter and not just a teaspoon. Definitely more freedom there for me and the way I eat, because I'm eating the real natural organic peanut butter. I'm not using peanut butter powder and mixing it with something. It's just not me. I love peanut butter too much. Would I put peanut butter powder in a smoothie? Absolutely, but I'm not mixing it up to put it on celery or put it on a sandwich, because it's just not me. If you can do that, I think that's wonderful. I'm not doing it, and I'm certainly not doing it for the rest of my life. And whatever you eat and do to lose the weight, you're going to have to do forever. You got to remember that. So if you're concerned about your macros, calorie counting is a fabulous thing. Now, when you put a food into the WW app, your macros are listed down below. But if you put a recipe into your WW app, they are not listed. So you have no idea your carbs, your protein, and stuff like that. So if you're concerned about macros, definitely calorie counting with an app that is going to give you your macros is the way to go. If you mostly just eat foods without recipes, you might be okay doing that with WW because they do list the macros there. They don't add it up for you for the day, so you might have to do that on your own, but you know, it's the price we pay. So that's kind of and you can tell they kind of come out even. What shocked me was how many points I was using versus how many calories I was eating. There were days that I was only eating 1,200 calories, but I had 34 points out of 20 or 21, whatever. I switched my 0-point foods seasonally. Like in the summer, I have corn because, you know, I live in Jersey and Silver Queen corn is what you eat in the summer here. So I do switch my food seasonally. So it bounces back between 20 and 21 points a day. But I was eating under my calories, but way over my points. Way over. Some days I hit my calories perfectly. I would be right at around 1350, and I was at 42 points. Now you could say, well, that's okay because of your weeklies. Well, I would get 28 weeklies. There were weeks I ended up in the negative on the weeklies, perfect on my calories, and had great weeks on the scale. And I think it just comes down to what you eat and how much of it you eat. I was definitely under eating when I was just sticking to my points. Even using a couple weeklies here and there, I was still under eating. I was never one to use my exercise points, but maybe that's what I need to do. So it was really, really eye-opening for me to see my points versus calories every day. If you are struggling on WW, take a look at that. Take a look at your points versus your calories. And maybe you do need to eat those weekly points. Maybe you do need to eat your exercise points. I know I do. I lost all my weight not eating my weeklies and not eating my fitness. They were fitness points back then. I don't know what they are now. I don't really know what they call them. I didn't eat any of my extra points, honestly, because I didn't feel like I needed it. Back on Freestyle and back on the other plans, I just didn't feel like I needed it. I was always full. I was always satiated. I was always satisfied. But that was also when I was not eating whole foods. Now, I'm way over my points. I'm still satiated and satisfied, well under calories, but well over points. So it kind of comes out in the wash. But I've learned that I need to eat every point given to me, every point I earn. And I know that's scary. It was scary for me. But now that the plan has changed, I think that is really, really important. I have people tell me all the time that doesn't work for them, that they can only eat their daily points. And if that's the case, then it is time to just take a step back and for 2 weeks, track your calories and just see where you land. Because calories are important. Every food we eat has calories. Every motion that we do expends calories. Calories in and calories out. Good calories, though. Not all points and not all calories are created equal. Step away from, even if it's a WW cake or, heck, I make a 2-point mug cake. Maybe I eat one a month. There's no nutrients in it. It's just a special treat. And, you know, it's only 2 points. Yeah, well, it's only 2 points. Yes, it's only 2 points. But if you eat it every day, how much? That's 14 points a week you're eating in empty calories. So really think about your points, what you're eating to fuel your body, what you're eating calorie-wise to fuel your body. And those cakes and those treats and those bars are not helping you to lose weight. The good foods are helping you to lose weight. You have to eat fat to burn fat. You have to eat calorie-dense foods to burn the calories. You need it for your health. So even though, you know, maybe a cake and a piece of chicken are both 180 calories, think about which one's going to help you achieve your goals. Definitely not the cake, because they're just not created equal. So you kind of have to keep an eye on that too. But what I've learned, to sum this up because it's already way too long, what I've learned is calories definitely give me a little bit more freedom. They give me freedom to eat the way I want to eat. They don't make me as stressed. It's a little, you have to be a little bit more in control, I think, because it's easy to say, oh man, it's, you know, 7 o'clock at night and I still have 300 calories left. Look at that ice cream bar. That's only 280 calories. If you don't have that kind of, you know, it might be hard for you. And sometimes I fall into that. I'll be like, ooh, and then I'm like, no, you know what? You don't need anything. You're fine. You're fine. So you have to definitely have that strength. It's not easy. I'm not perfect, and I don't have that strength all the time, especially in this time of year because I want popcorn. I just want popcorn a lot. I don't know why. I should probably keep that as a 0-point food for me because I just getting ready to take corn and popcorn off of my 0-point foods list, but maybe I shouldn't. So what it comes down to, give both a try and see which one works better for you. I will still, I think, always count points because I get the app for free. I like to help all of you guys, but I think I will pay a little bit more attention to the calories because it has definitely helped me in trying to drop these 8 to 10 pounds that I want to drop. So I will still probably continue to do both. Just mostly calories with points here and there just to see where I'm at. But I just like the freedom. I like the freedom to choose better for me foods. I like the freedom to be able to cook a little bit more with those types of foods. I like the freedom to once in a while have a little bit of a treat. Not a lot of treats and not every day. So I think for me, the calorie counting has just edged out the points. I will be very anxious to see in November if WW tweaks the plan, because usually when a new plan comes out in November, the following November, they tweak it a little bit, which this would be the tweak year. And then next year should be pretty much a new plan. And I wouldn't be surprised if it is a very new plan because there are not a lot of people that are loving personal points. There are some, yes. And I am the type of person that knows the plan's going to change, and I give every single plan the college try. Because I remember back when you had to eat liver once a week and, you know, fish 3 times a week and all that. So if the plans didn't change, it would not be good. They do change. We just don't always have to like all of them. And I just don't like that the good whole foods took a big hit this time. I'd like to see them get back to a little bit more of a natural eating, of a whole foods eating, just from my perspective. But I know I'm probably in the minority with that, and that's okay. That's why we have choices. So I'm sorry this got a little bit rambly. I hope this helps, you know, with what I've been doing and how I felt about it. But I definitely am glad I did it. It really opened my eyes to a lot of different things. And I had some good long talks, you know, with my nutritionist about it. And we'll see. We'll see how we continue to go on. But I will still continue, my friends, to give you the points and the calories for what I eat, what I cook, what I make for you. So that is it for this video. Sorry it got so long. Sorry it got a little bit rambly. My notes weren't as good as I would hope they were, but you know, it is what it is. And I am still working on the other video that I promised you, the eat this, not that video, and like the substitutions that we have made and why we've made them. So that's still in the works. It'll be here eventually. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day to spend it with me. I truly do appreciate it. I would love it if you would give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment. If you know someone who could benefit from this video, please feel free to share it. And that's all I have for you today, my friends. I will see you all in my next video.